Well, everybody, this week on the music scene, we're getting into the blues rock, or rock blues, if you will. And joining us from Detroit, she has been #1 and #2 on the global radio charts. She's played at the House of Blues, B.B. King's, and many more, and it's quite a great story. Niecie, thanks for joining us here today.
Oh, thanks for having me. What a pleasure. Thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome. And you're just down in Detroit, so you're not far away from me.
No, not at all. Not at all. Just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah. Now you call that home, but you're not home a whole lot because you're touring quite a bit with your new CD and your new song.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I just got back from doing some things in Nashville, some video, and working on the next one. Actually, I record down in Nashville.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's get to the point of who Niecie is here, and just tell me, how long have you been performing, and tell me how your musical career got started.
Wow, I've been performing actually since I was 8. I started in musical theater actually back then, and got into a dance career and then in jazz. Actually went away to school for jazz and dance. I started gigging, doing rock when I was 16, and that puts it kind of in the mid-70s. And just been gigging ever since. I love music. I love the stage. I love performing. I've done every genre but country, just about. Right.
Well, you've certainly been performing all over. You've been all over the world, including Germany. You've been over to our place in Canada here, and you keep yourself very busy with it. When you were growing up, you listened to different bands and things. What were you listening to?
I was, as far as rock goes, I was Humble Pie and Steve Marriott, Grand Funk Railroad, Rare Earth. Yeah, that type thing. Of course, Stevie Ray kind of crept in at the tail end, so getting that blues influence. With Soul, Gladys Knight, and Ann Peebles, and Mavis Staples, just a whole wide variety.
So music's really just been a part of your life from day one for you.
Yes, it has. It absolutely has.
Now, when you were growing up, there's a lot of different bands in there and a lot of different styles, but growing up, I always like to ask who the influences were that brought you to the style you're at today.
Well, as far as who influenced me in the household was my mother. She did a lot of the singer-songwriter type stuff, concert pianist. My dad was into jazz, big band jazz and blues. I had a brother that was in the Woodstock era, so that's how I got turned on to some of the heavier rock, psychedelic rock. And just having that all around me, and then I started sneaking into concerts when I was 14. And I just absolutely, I tell you, paid the piper, but did it anyway.
Yeah.
Just a lot of different musical influences.
That's great. Now you've got a little story kind of behind your career, and it's like a bit of an exciting story. If you would share that with the viewers.
Yeah, well, how I got into the blues was I was gigging with a rock band in the mid-'90s out in Omaha, Nebraska. We were on break. Magic Slim from Magic Slim and the Teardrops, he was also on break. We were hanging it outside, and I don't know, must have looked forlorn or whatever the case may be, but he came up to me and goes, "Girl, you need to get up and sing some blues." So he brought me up on stage, smitten ever since. And then he kind of got me hooked up with Larry McCray, who's up out of Saginaw, Michigan, and both of them have been big, huge influences. And then in the early 2000s, Coco Taylor kind of influenced me, took me under her wing, and it's been cool. It's been a great ride.
So you've been very fortunate to be around a lot of these people who've obviously had the big influence, not just on you, but the music world itself.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you could share just a little bit about your CD and actually the producer of your CD.
Yep, and that's the next up of my influences is as of late, recent. Johnny Neal, former Allman Brothers, he produced it. He's actually been playing on all my releases. since I started going down to Nashville, but we've just got such a camaraderie and worked so well in the studio and became really good friends. And so he produced my last one. A major guitar influence who's on this current CD is Chris Anderson from the Outlaws. Blazes guitar.
Wow.
So yeah, I have, and then recently too, Sean Murphy, and I have kind of aligned ourselves, and become friends, and wow, what a mega star she is.
Well, good.
You know, she's a modern influence.
You certainly got yourself surrounded by the right people, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. And the CD's sounding great. And we're going to play your video, Wanted Woman, here. But just before we do, I always like to ask the question to people like yourself who've been working independently for many, many years. What kind of advice could you give to, say, someone who's in the independent world or just starting in the independent music world?
Passion. Bottom line, passion. You've got to live it, eat it, and breathe it.
Yeah.
And you've got to want it really, really bad, and in the same respect, stay organized. You know,
for sure.
And you got to have a game. You got to have a game plan. You know, and seek advice. Surround yourself with people like I have done.
Yeah.
I mean, it rubs off on you.
It does.
It definitely rubs off on you. Success does. Yes, it does.
Well, thank you for that. The word passion seems to be the common denominator when I ask that question, so that's a bit of a clue, I think. All right, well, let's get into your song here, Wanted Woman. Where was this performed at, this video we're looking at?
This was on the Mondo Live Blues Show down in Nashville, Tennessee for Hippie Radio.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going to play that for you right now, but just before we do, where can we find Niecie?
You can get, my website is www.niecie.net, spelled Niecie.net.
Okay.
CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, I'm all over the place.
All the social medias,
website.
right?
Yeah, all social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. And that's a key thing for people starting out. You got to be everywhere. You got to, put yourself out there.
That's great. Great advice.
You never know who's going to find you.
Well, that's
you never know who's going to find you where. Yeah.
Very good. Great advice and great story in there. Appreciate you sharing the time here, Niecie.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
You're very welcome. All the best to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Niecie is her name, and she's rockin' blues, and we're going to show you some of that right now with Wanted Woman. Take a look at this, and then we'll be back.
Begging for mercy.